Okay, picture this. The alarm blares.
Ugh.
You instinctively slap the snooze button maybe, a few times. Your hand's already reaching for your phone.
Oh, yeah, the reflex scroll.
Exactly. Reflexively scrolling social media, letting that immediate hit of dopamine just pull you into the reactive world.
Before you're even fully awake.
Right. Then it's a rushed cup of coffee, maybe a hurried dash out the door, and before you know it, your freshest, most receptive mind. It's been handed over entirely to distraction. Sound familiar?
It really does. That's the typical chaotic morning for millions, isn't it? Your mind, when it's actually at its prime state, is immediately reacting to external demands.
Instead of setting an internal intention.
Exactly.
And that shift, from reaction to intention, that seems so crucial for focusing the mind, especially on language goals, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Because what if we told you that for a growing number of high performers, think CEOs, artists, elite athletes, the morning isn't this chaotic rush.
Right. For them, it's something different.
It's a sacred space, maybe a golden hour of quiet intention, specifically designed to prime both mind and body for peak performance.
And what's really compelling here, I think, is how this isn't just about general productivity, though it helps with that too. If we connect this to the bigger picture for you as an advanced English learner, say at the C1 level, you can apply this exact same philosophy
Directly to language learning.
directly to your pursuit of fluency, not just your daily tasks.
Okay, let's unpack this concept a bit more then. Welcome to what we're calling the C1 morning.
Yeah.
So you, listener, you've already achieved an impressive level of proficiency, right? C1 is no small feat.
Definitely not.
The journey now to C2, it isn't about cramming verb tables anymore, is it?
No, not at all. It's much more subtle. It's about refining your accent, achieving that automaticity in your speech.
That natural, effortless flow.
Exactly, where you're no longer consciously translating in your head. It's about mastering nuance and tone and building that really unshakable confidence.
And here's the kicker, I think. These gains, these refinements, they aren't typically made in those marathon all-night study sessions.
No, those lead to burnout. These gains are forged in the quiet consistency of daily habits. Small, regular actions.
Right, which raises a really important question. How do you consistently foster those subtle yet incredibly powerful improvements needed for C2?
Well, that's what this deep dive is all about. It's basically your blueprint for transforming the first 60 minutes, maybe even less, of your day
into your most powerful language learning tool.
Exactly, the most powerful tool you possess. And we need to stress, we're not talking about punishing pre-dawn regimes here. That's not sustainable for most people.
No, definitely not. It's more like a flexible, science-backed framework. Little things, small, potent activities you can choose from.
That's precisely what we're going to explore. We'll delve into the philosophy behind the C1 morning, leveraging biology, psychology, the incredible power of compounding.
We'll lay out the 4 essential pillars of a successful routine, share some really inspiring stories of learners from around the globe who've tailored this blueprint
to their own lives, which is key.
And then show you how to build a routine that is uniquely, authentically yours.
Because your most fluent self is waiting. It really is. It's just time to wake up and meet them.
So why the morning? Why is it so uniquely effective for this kind of C1 level language acquisition? It feels like more than just getting it done early.
Oh, it absolutely is. It's a strategic approach. It really taps into your natural biological and psychological advantages.
Talk a bit about the brain science there.
Okay, well, a crucial aspect to consider is how our brain actually works first thing. After a night of rest, memory consolidation, your brain is in a really unique state.
Fresher, more capable.
Exactly. Your willpower, your capacity for complex decision-making, they're genuinely at their highest point. As the day goes on, we all suffer from what psychologists call decision fatigue.
Right, where every little choice just wears you down.
Precisely. And that makes challenging tasks like nuanced language practice much harder later in the day. By placing your English practice first, you're giving it the absolute best of your mental energy.
Okay, and it's not just raw energy, is it? I remember reading about the prefrontal cortex.
Yes, your prefrontal cortex. That's the part that thrives on complex problem solving, handles executive functions like planning, critical analysis. It's sharpest in the morning.
So for C1 learners, this means tackling things like Dissecting subtle irony in an article.
Or constructing a really persuasive argument with sophisticated linking phrases, or even internalizing the natural rhythm of English prosody.
The music of the language.
Yeah.
Rhythm, stress, intonation.
Exactly. Those things are far more effectively processed and embedded when your prefrontal cortex is firing on all cylinders. It's the difference between merely understanding a concept
And truly mastering its application, making it your own.
Yes. And that ties directly into neuroplasticity.
The brain's ability to change and adapt.
Right. While your brain's ability to form and reorganize connections is always active, starting your day with a focused learning activity acts as a powerful catalyst. You're effectively telling your brain, hey, this is important, pay attention, build pathways for the skill today.
And it seems to me where this really starts to build momentum, where it gets exciting, is with the concept of compounding. Could you explain how that applies specifically to language learning?
Absolutely. It's just like investing money, really. Small, consistent efforts made daily yield far, far greater results over time than sporadic, heroic efforts.
Like trying to cram for 8 hours once a month versus 20 minutes every day.
Exactly. And the real revelation at the C1 level is how this unwavering consistency, even in these small doses, allows for those subtle, almost invisible improvements that distinguish near fluency from true mastery.
The things that are hard to measure day to day but make a huge difference long term.
Yes. It's not just about getting more done in the morning. It's about embedding those high-level patterns so deeply they become automatic, second nature.
So let's make that concrete. Imagine practicing, say, a challenging English skill for just 20 minutes every single morning.
Okay.
In a week, that's, 2 hours and 20 minutes? In a month, it's nearly 10 hours?
Yeah.
In 1 year, that's over 120 hours of highly focused, peak brain time practice.
That adds up. That's a huge difference.
It really is.
And it's that consistent, manageable input that truly pushes a learner from very good C1 level to effortlessly fluent C2 territory. The C1 morning isn't about intensity. It's about unwavering consistency.
And maybe the most important aspect, or at least a really critical one, is psychological.
Hugely important.
By starting your day with an intentional act of self-improvement, just deciding, I'm doing this for me, you're sending a powerful message to yourself.
What kind of message?
That my growth matters. I am a person who invests in my skills. And maybe even I am a confident and capable user of the English language. You start believing it.
I like that. And this proactive stance, it shifts your entire mindset for the day, instead of immediately reacting to emails and notifications.
Which puts you on the back foot immediately.
Exactly. You begin the day in a state of control, having already achieved a meaningful win.
The power of the early win.
Yes. And this feeling of self-efficacy, it snowballs. It makes you more likely to seek out and succeed in other English-related challenges throughout the rest of the day. You feel more capable.
Okay, this all sounds great in theory. But how do we actually build this? How do you structure it?
Right, practicalities. Well, we found that a robust and crucially sustainable C1 morning routine is typically built on 4 key pillars.
4 pillars, okay.
Think of this as a kind of buffet of options. Your personal routine should ideally include at least one activity from each pillar, but always tailor to your specific goals and your schedule.
A buffet, I like that. Mix and match. What's the first pillar?
The first pillar is the mindset reset. This should only take about 5-10 minutes.
Mindset reset, okay.
The goal here is simple. Consciously switch your brain from its default language mode, whatever that is, into English mode, and also to prime it with a positive, confident outlook for the learning ahead.
It sounds basic, but I can see how that's an essential first step that maybe many learners skip. They just jump straight into the grammar book.
They do. It's like trying to sprint without warming up. Warming up your brain is crucial.
So, what are some effective techniques for this mindset reset?
Well, one really powerful, simple technique is the gratitude statement. Before your feet even hit the floor, literally think of one thing you are genuinely grateful for related to your English journey. And phrase it as a full sentence in English, silently or out loud. Maybe, I'm grateful for the ability to read my favorite author in their original language.
Or, I'm grateful for my colleague from Ireland who teaches me new expressions. Something specific.
Exactly. Specificity helps. This immediately associates English with a positive emotion, right from the very first moment of your intentional day.
That's a great way to frame it. Starting with positivity. What else?
Another powerful technique is goal visualization. It sounds a bit woo-woo maybe, but it's used by elite performers everywhere.
How does it work for language?
Close your eyes for just 3 minutes and vividly imagine a specific, successful English interaction you anticipate for the day ahead. Maybe a meeting, maybe a phone call.
See it going well.
Yes. See yourself speaking clearly, confidently. Hear yourself nailing that presentation point. This technique actually lowers anxiety and pre-programs your brain for success. It primes those pathways.
Interesting. Okay, one more from mindset.
Right. C1 level affirmations. Now, generic affirmations like I can speak English can feel a bit hollow, especially at C1.
Yeah, you're past that point.
Exactly. So make them specific to your advanced level. Instead of I can speak English, try something like I articulate complex ideas with clarity and precision.
Ooh, I like that. Or instead of just I am confident.
Maybe. My unique voice and perspective are valuable additions to any conversation in English. Own your level. Write them down. Say them aloud. Feel the confidence.
Okay, pillar 1, mindset reset. Got it. What's pillar 2?
Moving on to pillar 2, high quality input. This should take maybe 15-20 minutes.
High quality input. Makes sense.
The goal here is to immerse your fresh, receptive brain in rich, complex, and authentic English, something that challenges you and provides real material for growth. It's about quality, definitely not quantity here.
So not just scrolling news headlines.
No, definitely not passive consumption. Among the strategies here, the article autopsy stands out because it's so active. Can you walk us through that one?
Sure. So you choose one high-quality article, maybe from a source like The Economist, The New Yorker, The Atlantic, something with dense language. Don't just read it passively.
Yeah.
Pick a single challenging paragraph and perform an autopsy on it.
An autopsy, what does that involve?
You identify the main argument of just that paragraph. You isolate maybe one or two power vocabulary words or phrases you don't know well. You break down a complex sentence structure, and you analyze the author's tone. Is it ironic, skeptical, persuasive?
So you're really dissecting it. Makes reading incredibly active, not just passive scanning.
Exactly. Another great alternative is the podcast Snippet Deep Dive.
Okay, for listening skills.
Yeah. Select maybe a 5-minute segment from a challenging dialogue-based podcast, something like NPR's Fresh Air, or maybe a BBC discussion program.
Good sources. What do you do with the snippet?
Listen to it maybe 3 times. First, just for the general gist, what are they talking about?
Okay.
Second time, maybe with a transcript if available. Focus specifically on connected speech, how words link together, and the intonation patterns, the music. And the third time, try using the shadowing technique.
Shadowing. Can you explain that quickly?
Sure. You basically speak along simultaneously with the recording, trying to mimic the speaker's rhythm, stress, and intonation as closely as possible in real time. It's hard.
It is hard, but incredibly effective for improving pronunciation and flow.
Definitely. And for something a bit different within input, maybe consider poetry for prosody.
Poetry. Interesting.
Yeah, read one short English poem aloud each morning. Poets are absolute masters of the music of language, right?
So they play with sound and rhythm constantly.
Reading poetry forces you to slow down, pay attention to the sounds of words, appreciate rhythm and stress in a different way. It's like a 5-minute masterclass in how English feels to speak.
I love that. Okay, input covered. What's pillar 3?
Our third pillar is deliberate output. Again, maybe 15-20 minutes.
Output. Actively using the language.
Exactly. This is where knowledge truly becomes skill. By actively producing the language, you're strengthening those neural pathways for recall and construction. You're making it yours.
Okay, what are some powerful output techniques?
A fantastic one here is the 10-minute free write. It's inspired by Julia Cameron's Morning Pages concept.
Yes, the artist's way.
You just open a notebook or a blank document and write in English nonstop for 10 minutes.
Yeah, nonstop. What if you get stuck?
The only rule is your pen or fingers must keep moving. Write about anything, your thoughts, your dreams, plans, feelings. Even analyze the article you just read in the input phase.
And the key is?
Do not self-edit. Do not worry about grammar or spelling. The goal is purely to bypass your inner critic and build fluency and automaticity. Just get the words flowing.
Right, overcome that blank page fear and just produce. I like it. Another one.
Another powerful output method is the explain a concept voice memo.
Okay, speaking practice.
Yes. Pick a complex idea, well, maybe something from your job, a historical event you find interesting, a scientific theory.
Something you're comfortable with content-wise.
All right. Record yourself explaining it in English for maybe 2-3 minutes, as if you were talking to an intelligent colleague who doesn't know about it.
And then the crucial part.
Listen back. Critically. Were you clear? Were your transitions logical? Did you hesitate too much? Did you use filler words? It's a very practical test of your ability to articulate sophisticated thoughts spontaneously.
That self-assessment is key. What about something smaller, a quicker habit?
For a small but surprisingly powerful habit, try the first productive sentence.
First productive sentence. Tell me more.
Before you check any emails, before you start any work, before the day takes over, write the very first sentence of your most important task of the day in English.
So if it's a report.
Write the opening sentence of the report.
Yeah.
If it's preparing a presentation.
Write the first bullet point or the title slide text.
Exactly. This tiny act of creation breaks inertia. It sets a productive English first tone for your entire day. It says, I'm starting with what matters.
I've tried this myself, actually, not for English, but just for work, and it's almost uncanny how just writing that one sentence can cut through procrastination.
It really works. It's like a mental handshake with your future productive self.
Yeah, well put. Okay, so that's output. What's the final pillar?
Finally, pillar 4, structured review and planning. This could be quicker, maybe 5-10 minutes.
Review and planning, consolidating and looking ahead.
Precisely. The goal here is twofold. Consolidate past learning effectively and create a clear, actionable intention for your English use throughout the coming day.
How do we do the review part effectively?
Well, the Smart SRS Review, using an app like Anki or similar spaced repetition software, is perfect here.
SRS spaced repetition. Can you briefly explain that?
Sure. SRS is basically a smart flashcard system. It shows you information just before you're about to forget it, making your review time incredibly efficient for long-term memory.
Got it. So use Anki in the morning.
Yes, but your morning review should be quick and targeted. Don't review hundreds of easy words you already know. Create a separate deck for C1 Plus challenge cards.
C1 Plus challenge cards. What goes on those?
These cards shouldn't just have single words. They should have full sentences featuring tricky idioms or pairs of easily confused words like prescribe versus proscribe.
Oh, good one.
Or advanced collocations like to launch a scathing attack instead of just criticize, things you specifically want to master at this level.
Right. Focusing review time on the high-value, tricky stuff. Makes sense. What about the planning part?
A great technique here is the word of the day mission.
Okay.
From your input session, maybe that article, autopsy, or podcast snippet, choose one new, powerful word or phrase you encountered.
Just one.
Just one. Don't just note it down passively. Create a specific mission to use it actively during the day. Write it on a sticky note. Plan exactly where you'll try to deploy it. Like, okay, I will use the word ubiquitous in the team meeting at 2 p.m. today. Or I will try to use the phrase on the contrary in an email response this afternoon.
So you're setting an intention to activate the new language.
Exactly. This active planning dramatically increases retention compared to just writing it in the list.
Makes sense. Anything else for planning?
One more idea. Set a daily microfocus. This brings conscious awareness to your existing habits.
Microfocus.
Choose one small, specific aspect of your English that you want to be particularly mindful of for that day. Just one thing. For example, today, I will focus on my sentence final intonation, making sure questions rise and statements fall. Or today, I will consciously try to use more logical connectors like consequently or nevertheless in my speech and writing.
So it's about bringing awareness to one specific area for improvement throughout the day, triggered by the morning plan.
Exactly. It makes your improvement intentional all day long, not just in the morning slot.
Okay, those 4 pillars, mindset reset, high quality input, deliberate output, and structured review and planning. That's a really solid framework.
Yeah, it's a framework, not a rigid cage, though. And what's really inspiring is seeing how learners around the globe adapt this basic blueprint to their own lives, their goals, their personalities.
Absolutely, because the theory is great, but seeing it in practice is what makes it click.
Right. So you mentioned that learners adapt this. Can you give us an example, maybe someone with a demanding job, like Elena, you mentioned, a corporate lawyer in Madrid. How does she translate this sacred space idea to something concrete for her C1 English goals when her mornings are likely already packed?
Elena's routine is a fantastic example of tailoring. Her specific goal is mastering that formal, precise, and persuasive English needed for international contract law, high-stakes stuff.
Very specific. What does her routine look like?
It's about 45 minutes, starting at 6:30 a.m. She begins with a quick 5-minute mindset reset. She reads the daily header from The Economist's Espresso app, just the headlines, and reflects on one sentence, maybe rephrasing it.
Quick and focused, then input.
Then 15 minutes of high-quality input. She does an article autopsy on a short article from the Financial Times, specifically focusing on legal terminology and formal phrasing.
Directly relevant to her work. Output.
For output, she spends 20 minutes drafting hypothetical emails to an opposing counsel, really practicing that specific professional tone using phrases she picked up.
Wow, practicing the exact skill she needs.
Exactly. And finally, 5 minutes for review. She reviews her Anki deck, which is filled with complex legal phrases like indemnify and hold harmless or without prejudice.
That's incredibly tailored and efficient. What about someone with a completely different need? Say, improving conversational fluency, not formal language.
Okay, then let's look at Kenji. He's a mobile game developer in Osaka, Japan. His challenge is different. He needs to improve his spontaneous conversational fluency and, importantly, understand current American tech slang for his daily video calls with U.S. colleagues.
Very different goal. Faster pace needed, maybe?
Yes, his routine reflects that. It's a faster 30 minutes starting at 7 a.m., designed for speed and energy. His mindset is a 5-minute visualization of a successful daily stand-up meeting, imagining himself speaking clearly and understanding the banter.
Pre-programming success. Input.
For input, 10 minutes listening to a segment of a fast-paced tech podcast like Vergecast, maybe while he's making coffee. Then he quickly shadows a few key sentences he wants to nail.
Multitasking a bit, but focused listening. Output.
His output is a quick 10-minute explain a concept voice memo where he records himself explaining a coding challenge he solved yesterday, trying to sound natural and use some tech terms.
Practicing explaining technical things clearly. Planning.
And for planning, he picks one piece of slang he heard on the podcast or needs for work, like let's double click on that, and makes a plan to try and use it in his team's Slack channel that day.
Again, super practical and targeted. One more. Maybe someone academic.
Okay, Fatima. She's a PhD candidate in marine biology in Cairo. Her goal is refining her formal academic writing and presentation skills for conferences and publications.
Very different again. Quiet, analytical.
Exactly. Her morning is quiet and analytical. Starts early, 5:45 a.m. for 45 minutes. Her mindset reset is actually a 10-minute free write in her research journal, exploring thoughts on her experiments, basically forcing herself to think analytically in English first thing.
Using writing as a thinking tool. Input.
For input, 15 minutes carefully reading abstracts and discussion sections of new papers in her specific field, maybe from journals like Nature or Science, actively focusing on standard academic phrases and transition words.
Stuff like furthermore, contrary to expectations.
Precisely. For output, she spends 15 minutes describing her own research graphs aloud, as if presenting them. She records herself, then listens back critically for clarity, conciseness, and appropriate academic tone.
Practicing the exact skill she needs for conferences. Review.
And her review is a quick 5-minute look at a handwritten list she keeps of sophisticated academic transition words she wants to incorporate, like notwithstanding, or this corroborates the view that...
These stories really drive home the point, don't they?
They really do. They illustrate the most important rule. Your routine must serve your life and your specific goals and your personality. A routine just copied from someone else, even me or you, is unlikely to stick.
Use the 4 pillars as a menu, not a prescription.
Exactly. Use them as a menu to build a routine that actually excites and motivates you.
Okay, but inevitably, people will hit roadblocks. What if you're listening to this thinking, this sounds great, but I have absolutely no time? I hear that a lot.
It's probably the most common concern, and it's valid. The answer, almost always, is to start smaller, much smaller if necessary.
How small?
A 15-minute routine is infinitely better than no routine at all. Or even 10 minutes. Try a pillar pair.
Pillar pair.
Yeah. Maybe one day you just do 5 minutes of mindset plus 10 minutes of input. The next day you do 10 minutes of output plus 5 minutes of review. Alternate them.
So you're still touching all the bases over 2 days?
Exactly. The absolute key is just to touch the language intentionally first thing in the morning, even briefly. Build the habit first, then maybe expand the time later if you can.
Okay. Next objection. I'm just not a morning person. What do you say to them?
Then redefine morning. The C1 morning isn't strictly about the time on the clock. It's about the first intentional hour or half hour of your conscious day.
So if you work nights and wake up at 2 p.m.?
Your C1 morning starts at 2 p.m. If you're a parent with a totally chaotic, actual morning dealing with kids.
Maybe your routine starts on your commute. Or the moment you finally sit down at your desk with your first coffee.
Precisely. It's about finding that first quiet-ish slot you can claim whenever it occurs for you. Adapt it to your reality.
Okay, what about... I get bored easily. I confess I sometimes struggle with that myself, even with my own learning routines.
That's super common too. If you get bored easily, then build variety into your plan. Don't do the exact same thing every single day.
Oh,
Create a weekly schedule for your activities within the pillars. Mondays for poetry input, Tuesdays for a podcast deep dive, Wednesdays for a news article autopsy.
mix up the input sources.
Exactly. And for your output, maybe one day you journal, the next day you record that voice memo, the next day you practice writing professional emails. Keep it fresh. A routine doesn't have to be monotonous. It just has to be consistent.
Good point. Variety within consistency. Okay, last big one. I did it for a week, maybe 2, and then I stopped.
Yeah.
That's the classic pitfall with any new habit. What's your advice there from a practical standpoint?
The broken streak. It happens to everyone. The absolute most important thing is don't let a broken streak derail you completely.
Don't fall into the all or nothing trap.
Exactly. The goal isn't perfection, especially at the beginning. It's consistency over the long term. If you miss a day or even a few days, just start again the next day you can. No guilt, no drama. Just begin again.
Easier said than done sometimes, though.
Yeah.
How do you motivate yourself to start again?
This raises a really important question you need to ask yourself constantly. Why are you doing this? You have to link your routine to a powerful, meaningful why.
Your deeper motivation.
Yes. Remind yourself why you are putting in this effort. Is it for that dream job? Is it to connect more deeply with family or friends abroad? Is it to unlock a whole world of knowledge or culture? Your why is the fuel. That's what will get you through the days when motivation inevitably dips. Write it down. Keep it visible.
That's powerful advice. Connect the daily action to the bigger dream.
Always.
Okay, as we start to wrap up this deep dive, let's maybe bring it all back to the core message for our C1 listeners.
Yeah, let's summarize the essence.
The journey from C1, which is already great, to C2 mastery. It really is a climb where progress isn't measured in giant leaps. You're unlikely to have huge breakthroughs overnight at this stage.
No, it's much more about those tiny, consistent steps forward day after day. And the morning, that quiet, often precious space before the world rushes in, it's just the ideal time to take those small, focused steps.
What we really want to emphasize, a C1 morning routine done right is not about adding another stressful chore to your already busy day.
Absolutely not. If it feels like that, you need to adjust it. It should feel like a small, almost sacred act of investment in yourself, in your future self.
It's like a declaration first thing in the morning that your growth, your progress is a genuine priority.
And internally, it's the practice of proving to yourself first thing every single day that you are not just a learner of English anymore.
Right, you're shifting identity.
You are a confident, capable, and ever-improving user of the language. You own it.
That internal shift is huge.
It is. And ultimately, your journey to true mastery won't be defined by a single heroic effort, like passing one big exam years ago.
Yeah.
It will be defined by the quiet, consistent discipline you bring to that first hour or even half hour of your day. Consistency compounds.
So the final thought for everyone listening, tomorrow morning isn't just the start of another new day.
No, it's more than that. It is a fresh opportunity, a clean slate to actively build your most fluent self.